Testing, testing. All right. Grand Rising. Big day ahead of us. Not so much for the news, although we have some news at 9:45 a.m. Flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, purchasing managers index, it's a diffusion index. It's just a survey of many manufacturers across the U.S. Above 50 is considered expansion, below 50 is considered contraction. So we should have a little bit of volatility at 9:45 as well as at 10 a.m. for some existing home sales data. Not as interested in that, but other than that, we have a little bit of Fed speak throughout the day. And yeah, tomorrow we don't have really any data, just more Fed speak. I expect us probably to have a move today after yesterday's big downward spike. So we have a lot to look at here. Currently looking at the weekly range here on ES. Came and swiped this low. See if this was just a failed breakdown. And would like to see a move retest up into this 4-hour order block. Up into like 5,910, the midpoint of the weekly range here. Probably as high as at the 5,930 as well. So I'd like to see, move up here and then another short down to this gap that we have, which let's identify that bad boy. Because obviously we have a pretty big gap from 2 weekends ago or 2 weeks ago. So if we get rid of that, then we have this gap, good imbalance. If we start looking at some moving average stuff, we're coming back on the daily to retest this 200 simple moving average. Our trend line moving averages, we're closed below the 9 and the 21's coming up and curling. So even if we're still bullish, I see a move down here as very respectable. So just look at our regular trading hours. So we got this gap. Really want to go swipe kind of that 5,800 level into here, retest. That would be beautiful. And then we'll take it from there. If it just swipes through here, then we're gonna probably go through all of this down here. So we do have quite divergence forming here on, wow. This is an interesting dynamic here. So that's pretty interesting actually. Last time we hit around here, you know, we could still go up, right? But this definitely portends some reprieve, some respite. So we've got this divergence forming. Now on the weekly, you know, we still have a lot of ground to cover. We had this hidden divergence, which is just continuation divergence here on the weekly, which is very nice. But yeah, short term, certainly short term pressure here. The downside, but getting a move back up to 5,900, that would be beautiful. Volume from up here. Yeah, well, yeah, so we're really interested in this gap. The gap to the downside. So be looking for this low to be targeted. It'd be kind of tough. It's gonna be tough to trade this though if it just continues down from here. It doesn't give us a good retrace. I probably wouldn't be involved, unfortunately, if that's the case. So we are bouncing off the weekly opening gap after swiping that low. Okay. Very well then. So, I mean, we have news at 9:45, so we're gonna wait for that. We still have a naked pivot up here. These highs look a little gross. I think we could even just jump up to there and miss the order block and continue down. Pretty much hit this naked pivot to the tick. Yeah, things are looking decent here on a weekly. Yeah, there's our pivot and pivots. Alright, let's look at some VWAP levels here. Weekly VWAP up there, right? Monthly VWAP down here. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. If we could just get that'd be awesome, but I mean, there is a chance we just roll over right here. And then in this case, we probably get a bounce at this 5,800 swipe into the VWAP, but just a short one up into retest this kind of swipe level. This last low here at 5830-ish. And the quarterly VWAP is going to be far away, so nothing really interesting there. Oh, this is a great candle. Swept liquidity. Created this 4-hour order block, closed below kind of this last structural low here. So volume from there's no volume here, so yeah, filling out this little 59.05 level seems very reasonable. Coming into this downtrend anchored VWAP, as well as this would be a retracement, yeah, into the golden pocket, and it's just perfect. And then right about there, yeah. So really, this is a target, and this is kind of the target of where we're looking at here, at least that's what I'm interested in. So it reminds me, I'm gonna look at some old volume profile data that I haven't checked in on in a while. Okay, I think we have a good outlook on what should transpire today. Alright, looking at ES's old. Yeah, gosh, yeah, just this level down here, a retest of the 5800 into the gap would be a great target. Monthly perspective, we tapped into February's value area low again, retested that. Let me get this screen up. Actually, probably just easier if I bring this over here. So if we're looking at these volume profiles here, so back in February where our high was on ES, we came back up and hit this value area low again. Obviously we don't have any volume here. This needs to be filled out. So we have a good target come down. We have an old point of control here that we flipped coming into this gap. Could still be a bullish flip for a continuation, but definitely downside pressure here is the nature of the game at the moment. So that's on the monthly, but if we look at the quarterly here, we're coming back into the first quarter range, and we did with conviction come back into this range. But then once again, this was retest of 5800 area, would still be a bullish retest and then continuation. So yeah, any move up we can get to short down to this kind of 5800 swipe, I think would be really good. Quarterly. Then, you know, weekly, I haven't updated this. I need to fucking update this. Check the weekly levels here. So we hit previous week value area low, kind of broke down through it, trying to reclaim it here. So yeah, and coming back up and retesting this prior week node. It's gonna be a bit of a zone, but that 59.10-ish level I feel like would be the best. So we can kind of, if we can hold above this 58.57 level, which is where we're teetering at, I think that bodes well for ES. Also bouncing off that value area low that was untapped. Yeah. All right. All that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So we got 2 minutes until a volatility injection, in which we'll be looking for this level or this level to get hit first. Also, we've already swept yesterday's low. EQ up in this 5900 level. So it's just a good retracement spot here. Yeah, so obviously trade what happens, not what we'd like to happen, but I would really like to see that happen just because I think it's very clean. Could see a scenario though where we kind of do tap out into this consolidation and we leave this for a long time in the future, and so we could curl over there, but all right. So let's go ahead and ready to see what happens here. I expect we probably start getting a move after this news. Move is up first here. Which we can watch. You can watch the lower time frames. Nothing nothing crazy yet. You know, honestly, don't really want to even enter a long unless it gets over that 58.76 level and comes back in with you know, because so we do have this order block. It's residing right above this liquidity. So, you know, you have a scenario that just runs up to here and goes down, or you have a scenario that runs up to here, goes up to there, goes down, something like that. We're just gonna have to trade the reactions here. See if there's any divergence here on ES. I mean, NQ, yeah. There is. Very interesting. Not a lot of conviction. And just move up. I still think even if we go to all-time highs, it's just going to be a big bull trap. I don't know. We already kind of entered into bull market territory again. So NQ is going to be the same story as ES. Probably, you know, this looks really clean on ES. So not even going to really worry about NQ trading the same way. This has kind of already come down a little bit farther than its counterparty. So NQ, yeah, about get up into the 21,300 level. Yeah, that retest will be important. Oh, this is also our overnight high. And our overnight low. So yeah, we'll be waiting for a sweep of one of these guys. Gold, take a look at gold here in a second. Gold is pretty interesting as well because we did get that failed breakdown move and quite the move up into the gap. We filled it and now we're in a bit of a choppy seek and destroy manipulation type range. like it looks like it kind of wants to flag out right here. Just still kind of a premature play.
Order filled. Order filled.
I just nibble at a small one here. Certainly choppy this morning. There we go. Getting that move up now. See if we get continuation here. Like to target this high into this. Looking good so far. Give us about 7 more points. Be nice. Classic little stall out before the high. Move the stop up into profit. All right, so like to see it stay above 58.50, let's call it. All right, gold here, taking a turn from the overnight session. Down, London taking it down, swiping all of Wednesday's price action. retesting the upper quartile of today's range, about to create an order block in which we could get a retest at the 3300 level for a little bit more downside into this low. Be interested to see how that plays out here. Let's turn that off for a second. The 4-hour candle came and filled this gap. A little bit of excess here. Coming back down, flipping this consolidation candle and retesting it. Looking to, I guess, retest. Looks like gold's trying to make a little bit of a bear flag here. Now, did it get enough on the low side? We did get that nice failed breakdown. So, is there anything here that we could like to see? We filled this gap perfectly on the RTH. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, this looks good for a little bit of a short down here on gold. We're gonna, oh yeah, we're getting a good move here on ES. Hopefully I might just close this out.
Order filled.
Closed. Very good. Caught that momentum for about 12 points, 12 to 13 points. So it is time to get prepared for a possible just overnight high sweep. Short off of this, trade back in. That is our next trade idea here. And what would that look like? Boom. Here, VWAP retest, back up to this bigger level, and then come back down for a bigger short to the other side of the range. That's what I would like to see. But it's not about what I'd like to see. It's about what the market would like to see. So we will see. We gonna see. And then gold, obviously. Kind of interested in this. Let's see if we get a retest. Like to see this low taken. If it already gets taken before, then I will scrap that idea. Oil, not really even gonna mess with oil. Hasn't been too clean from my liking, as well as just so much geopolitical risk and news affecting its price action. It just hasn't been a market that I've wanted. I want to pay attention to it, but that I really wanted to trade at the moment. Now Bitcoin, just obviously are all-time highs, but this whole action just has been real shitty for me. I'm sure people have been able to trade it. I haven't been interested in it. Even though we're at all-time highs, just haven't been interested in the price action from a trading perspective. So looking at it on a perpetual perspective, perpetual futures on Binance, we have taken the all-time high, and we didn't really squeeze up above it. Well, this one I just don't really have a lot of. I think we could move all the way up to here, 122, 125, 120 to 130,000, of course, but just looking at it from a trading perspective, like where do I trade it? I don't want to short after we just took all-time highs unless we come back in, create some sort of swing failure pattern or a failed auction, and so it has to come back, below this high and start getting about some 30-minute candle closures below it, it's gonna probably just bounce off of this, or you might have a situation that just comes back and then back up to get people back in. But yeah, no divergences up here. It's just not really that fun, the Bitcoin. So we'll continue to watch this. Let's see if we get a short opportunity. 10 o'clock candle, which means a new 4-hour candle has formed. Wow, NQ is already at that 21,300 level. And we're looking good to probably still continue up to our 5,900 level that we've been thinking about. Pretty beautiful 4-hour candle here with that inverted hammer here. Massive wick to the, or tail to the downside. Looking like we got a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get hopefully maybe a choppy little fourth one here, down back into VWAP retest off of this level and the sweep of the overnight high up into this 4-hour order block for potential bigger short down here. That's the plan. It's been the plan for the last 30 minutes. We grabbed one long here on this momentous leg. Closed that out for about 12 or 13 points on one account, and now we're just waiting to see if we get anything else. So here we're getting the overnight high sweep happening. Okay. All right, so we'll be interested in this 15-minute order block for just a short scalp. Just back into VWAP. This will be a value area low retest from previous day. And then possibly another long opportunity off VWAP up into the 4-hour order block. So let's see if we get blessed with that. Having a bit of struggle here, eh? All right, here we go. We've swept overnight high going into this 15-minute order block. Going to be looking for a possible short scalp down to VWAP off of here. Going to be looking at the 15 5-second chart on my right screen. For any early signs of weakness here. Yep, there's the we are more interested in that 5,900 level, but if we can get a short scalp out of here, I am cool with that. Alright, certainly getting a little bit held up here. What about nothing this show of reversal yet though? We got a little bit of an upward distribution here, forming, but nothing that says, hey, take a short scalp. You get this retest of 58, 78 3/4. Yeah, little reaction there, but nothing. Nothing too beautiful. Back to our lo-fi. Okay, bit more interesting here.
Order filled. Order filled.
$586175. Took it down to this low. Ideally. Yeah, we're gonna look and see like we're gonna get this VWAP retest here off this 15-minute order block. Beautiful so far. Come on, let's get a little bit more. Might just want to fill out this imbalance, but target this it'll be, that is an overnight high sweep into this 15-minute order block and the previous day value area low. So this could be the move that goes down and takes this low. Also could be reaccumulation here at the VWAP to go up a little bit higher to that 5900, hit the 4-hour order block level. So we'll see. Short playing nicely so far, up 8 points on it.
Order filled. Yeah, everything playing out very nicely so far. Not that too hyped that this swept liquidity came back up. We're gonna have to watch this and see the reaction off of 3300 level for that continuation there. Bitcoin not doing shit right now. Alright, we're just gonna see if we get move down, back up, retest, and then a continuation along up there. That's the move. Oh, mysterious old man maze. Lovely. Oh, we got a new, pretty ugly 15-minute candle closure there. Ah, shit.
All right, so slowing down here a bit. So we tap that low into VWAP here. Let's see how we react here. It was a pretty nasty 15-minute candle off the overnight high sweep into the 15-minute order block. So let's see. Now you want this to hold up here.
Okay, a bit of a reaction here off the VWAP. Take the previous 1 minute candle high at 58.64. Yeah, not getting no bounce here. So if it does go down from here, then this overnight high sweep 15-minute order block test will probably move us down to the overnight low and to our downwards target, and we'll either get a bounce out of here back up to here, or we just continue. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We got a 15-minute closure below this low. And a 5-minute. We'll have our initial balance will be initialized here in 3.5 minutes, the 10:30 a.m. candle. Slightly holding up here though. But you can see it's kind of doing the VWAP manipulation dance here. Right off that 200. Okay, there's a bit of a reaction. See him move up above 58.63.25. Ideally first. Otherwise, it's just a bearish retest. Okay, gold is coming up to interesting level here. Bit of a range. VWAP. Interested in gold, but gold and ES tend to run inverse of each other. So, portend possible move up from here. AMC's finally making some moves here. Too little, too late. Oh. Lot of chop around this VWAP. Well, everything sure did slow down once again. Certainly failing view up here. So if we can get above the IB initial balance midpoint and this VWAP, maybe we could get a move back up. Dug a little deeper into the consolidation than I would have expected, so throwing me for a wrench here a little bit, but a possible short off of this level 2 on gold. Nope, just another VWAP retest. Might have already made the trade for the morning. Was this momentous move up? The short off of here, but closed it right around here pretty early. Oof, 7-point drop right there. All right, another 15-minute candle closure. Yeah, I'm not showing much unless we get above the VWAP and the initial balance midpoint. Otherwise, wait for this low to be taken, ideally. And then our two extreme points, 58. Actually, I bet this is... Okie dokie. Should be getting a move one way or the other here in the next 10 minutes. Oh, actually, decent reaction off this 1 minute order block here that I missed. VWAP's all the way up there though. Was that just a scalp opportunity? That's the question. Not too convinced with how this low is swept already. It's a bit disconcerting for myself. Although, I mean, it's in a technical zone here. It's getting a pretty good bullish reaction. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those situations, if I was going to short this pretty early, it would come up higher. Just looks reminiscent of something as such.
Wow, lots of volatility though across the stock market here. Let's see, what are the big boys doing? Nvidia. Not moving. Microsoft. Pretty big move up. Tesla. Meta. Yeah, these downside gaps just look fruitful. Let's look at Apple. Apple pretty much filled this gap. Yeah, nothing looking too 100%ers for me. Want to be careful, don't overextend. So we got the initial balance low being attacked here. We do have a situation where this low and this overnight low holds into this consolidation, and we get kind of a deep retracement here, back up for long. But this wasn't a convincing break, more of a wick for the downside continuation. All right, well, I'm gonna call it a morning. Pretty good morning, 2 trades, one long, one short.
those trades will keep the doctors away. So can't complain too much. Hopefully we'll get something good here afternoon. But thanks for joining me, myself, and I.